Are you trying to decide between the Lamy Safari and the Lumos Pro fountain pens and you just can't decide which one is for you? I've got all the info you need to make the right choice. So you've started drawing a lot and you find that you're going through those micron pens like there's no tomorrow. You know you want a fountain pen, but how do you decide which one? So I'm going to walk you through some of the differences and pros and cons of each of these pens. So let's start with the Lamy Safari. This is a great pen. It's got a super comfortable grip, so it's incredibly comfortable to hold. I love to draw with it, but I also love to write with it, and so I use it all the time. It's also very easy to fill, so it's got a converter with a twist plunger. I have another video that I'll link to where I show you how to fill the pen. But it's super simple, and with this pen I typically use the Atramentis document ink. Again, that's in that other video I'll link to in the show notes. So super great. That's a waterproof ink and works awesome for drawing, and I love it. What I don't love about the Lamy Safari is simply just that it's not as thin of a thin line, right? Like it's not a true fine liner pen. I would say it's maybe comparable. The fine or extra fine tip that I use is probably somewhat, I don't know. There's not a huge difference between the fine and the extra fine, number one. And number two, it's probably comparable to like an 0.3 micron or something like that. Not nearly as fine of a line, but a super reliable, comfortable, great pen to draw with that I 100% recommend. And once you're buying ink and not buying pen after pen after pen, I think you'll find that it's actually pretty economical. The Lamy Safari, I've actually got it in 3 different colors because I've got 2 that are black. One goes in my purse, one stays here at the studio, and I've got one for the urban sienna, or basically like a sepia type color. So that's this ink. And then the other 2 I keep with the black for my usual drawing. So this is drawing and painting, drawing with the Lamy Safari. You can see thicker line, comfortable grip, works with waterproof ink, and using the Atramentis document ink. So that's the Lamy Safari. And here's 2 pages with line drawings. This one is with the Lamy Safari, extra fine, and this one is done with the other pen, with the Lumos Pro, with the smallest tip, the 01. So the Lumos Pro, this is the Duo because it's got 2 tips. So you've got this tip here. I've got the 01, which is the super fine line drawing tip, and then you've got whatever you want on both sides, obviously, but I have a brush on the second tip, and you can use them, you know, together. The pen then screws in on the back side. Sometimes I take this back side off because it's already somewhat of a heavy pen, and sometimes I find that makes it too heavy. Other times I like it. The other thing about this pen is that this is like a brushed metal, and I think it's pretty comfortable. It's not hard, doesn't leave marks on my hand, but some people find this a little too smooth, and if that's the case, you might want to put something over the pen. They sell a piece of leather that goes over it if you're looking for a little bit more of a grippy grip. And I would say as compared to the Lamy is definitely a more comfortable grip than the Lumos Pro is, but I still like this and find it comfortable to draw with. And honestly, the big thing with the Lumos Pro is the fact that it comes with 11 different tips. So you have everything from felt tips to fine liner tips to writing tips, the brush tip. So really you can change in and out. For anything you can see, I haven't even used a lot of these just because I really got it because I wanted fine liner work. So just to show you, this is the fine line work with the Lumos Pro. So I would say, if you're enjoying these tips, I think you're going to love my membership, The Gathering. We do something I call slow drawing, where we draw slowly and breathe, ground, and create nature-inspired patterns in drawing and painting, and I break things down into simple small steps that are super digestible and so fun. And I think you're going to surprise yourself with all you can create. And when you pay $5 a month, you get ongoing access on demand to a vault of over 100 different workshops. And I'll lead you through and show you how to do exactly this kind of botanical creation in your journal, and then how to take it and make it all your own. It's just $5 a month, and you can join with the link just below here. With this, the huge advantage with the Lumos Pro is that you get those truly tiny fine lines. I think the other huge advantage is that you have the multiple tips, right? So really you have the ability to have just one pen potentially. Smooth grip, works with waterproof ink. Yes, now this took a little testing. So I have landed on platinum carbon ink, and I've talked to a bunch of other artists that are also using this ink. You could use this ink also with the Lamy Safari, but this is the ink that I have found that stays true. It's totally waterproof and works great with this pen, doesn't like gum it up or whatever. So that's great. The other thing I will note about the Lumos Pro is I would say I haven't tried some of the other tips, but I do like the brush tip. But as you can see here, it's interesting. No matter what ink I use, it always reads kind of gray. When I use the brush tip, you can see that thicker line, that's from the brush tip. And I also find that that's often not quite as waterproof, so that's something to note. And I also find that this tip you have to be very careful with. I don't think it's quite as robust of a brush tip as I would like. So I wouldn't say it's like my favorite brush tip, but in terms of looking for a reusable fountain pen that doesn't have plastic, this is what I've been looking for in terms of a reusable fountain pen. It's really great. I think it makes beautiful lines. You can see how delicate they really are. And I often like to do like botanical drawings and things in pen because it forces me just to commit and not overthink my shapes and whatever. And you can see it goes beautifully with the watercolor. You get like a really lovely light line that goes super well together with whatever it is that you want to paint. So if, and this one refills, you get like these little bits. I guess this is the only thing that has a tiny bit of plastic, but it's like a marker kind of thing, right? And you just basically dip this right into your ink, right? You hold the very top and it just fills up. It'll suck up the ink and it fills by capillary action. It's a very good design. I really like it. And then you just put that into your pen. I can link to their tutorial on how to do that. It's not hard. With the Lamy Safari, like I said, you can use these two, well, actually you can use any of these inks, the platinum carbon black ink, the Atramentis black document ink, or the urban sienna document ink, and they are all waterproof. They all work great. You can also use, instead of the, let me just show you, instead of using the plunger converter thing and then putting your own ink in it, you can use an ink insert that you can buy, and it comes with one, but these are not waterproof. It's possible they sell some waterproof ones, but I'm not aware of it. And then with the Lamy Safari, like I said, I mean with the Lumos Pro, like I said, this is the only ink that I found is truly waterproof. And this one does not have, no cartridges, just our piece of like cotton or whatever it is that works by getting sucked up by capillary action in here, and then you insert it into your pen. So I hope that's helpful. I would say for me, if I wanted a fine liner pen to make really delicate fine lines, I would definitely go for the Lumos Pro. If I wanted more of an all-around pen that I could both write with and draw with, that was super robust, really, really comfortable on the hand, I would go with the Lamy Safari. So what am I saying? For me, I enjoy having both pens, but I'm not the kind of person who wants a ton of pens and a ton of pencils. In fact, here's what I actually and truly use. I really, really, really wanted to have one pen, maybe two. And this really works for me, and I'm super happy with both of these pens, and I think they've been great investments. I don't buy Micron pens anymore, and I feel really good about not, buying all that plastic and then just chucking it when I'm done with it, because of course I do a lot of line work and I go through pens really fast. So I really appreciate, here's another one done with the Lumos. You can see the incredible level of detail there. So I really like both pens and I think they work great. Let me see if I can find something done with my other pen for you. So like here's a page done with the Lamy Safari and another. And I often like combining both pens. So this one's done with the Lamy as well. I like using the Lamy for the thicker line and then adding details with a really thin line with the Lumos Pro. So I hope that was helpful, and I would love to hear your experience and your questions and your comments below, and make sure you like and subscribe so that we can keep coming out with more content like this. And happy drawing. Bye-bye.